Hi friends, welcome to my laundry room that I have been working on. One of the things that I will be doing to get the space finished is a window treatment for this window. Now, as you can see, it's a fairly small window, and the space between the ceiling and the window itself is not that much. The window is lower. However, in doing my Roman blind, I will be taking it from the ceiling line. I will also be going a few inches overlap on the wall beside the window, just so the blind is wide enough and long enough to help to block out some of that draft during the winter time. So I'll go ahead now and measure up for the Roman blind. I'll do my width first. And what I'll do is measure the window, which is 29 inches across with the trims that's on the side. And then what I'll do is do 3 inches from the edge here, which means that it will be 29 inches plus 3 on the one side plus 3 on the next side, which will be 35 inches. Now for the length, as I mentioned before, I will be taking it from the ceiling line, and just like I did 3 inches over on the sides, I'll go ahead and I'll do 3 inches on the length. And this is 37 inches. The window is 37 inches. So 37 plus 3 is 40 inches. So it will be 40 inches long and 35 inches across. That will be my finished measurement for the Roman blind. I'll go ahead and put a diagram on the board just so you get a better understanding of what I am doing here. The diagram is showing the window with the measurement that I did inside. For the width it's 35 inches and for the length it's 40 inches. Now it intersects here all the way up to the ceiling line because that is where I will be mounting the Roman blind. This is our finished width and length. So finished width is 35 inches and finished length is 40 inches. We will have to add increments for our side hems and the top and the bottom also. Let's start with the width. That will be our cut width, which is CW. That will be 35 plus I will be adding 2 inches on the one side and 2 inches on the other side. So that will be a total of 4 inches. So my cut width will be 39 inches. That means it's how wide I'm going to cut the panel that I'm using to make the Roman blind. Now for the length, our cut length will be 40 inches plus I'll do a double hem at the bottom, which will be a 1 inch double hem. So I will go ahead and add 2 inches for the bottom hem. I'll be installing the Roman blind on a piece of wood, and for that I am going to add an additional 2 inches. 2 inches. So that's 44 inches. Therefore, my cut width is 39 inches. My cut length is 44 inches. I'll also be lining the blind, but I'll go ahead and get the front panel ready, and then we will talk about how big we should cut the panel for the lining. I have finished cutting my panel, and as you saw, I had to join pieces of fabric to make my panel because this is a piece of fabric that I like very much, but unfortunately when I bought it, it came in pieces, and so I had to join two pieces to make the Roman blind, but that's not a big issue for me. I adjusted my finish width and finish length just incrementally. I decided to make the blind an inch wider and also 3 inches longer. That way it will trick the eyes that the window is much bigger than what it is when the blind is down. And plus, I just wanted some more of this fabric over in the corner in the window because it is so artsy and colorful in the space. The next step will be to press the sides for the sides and the bottom actually for the 1-inch double hem. So now I am going to put this aside and I am going to cut the lining. The width of the lining will be the finished width of the blind, which is 36 inches. In order for you to have a point of reference, I'll go ahead and I'll draw a diagram the size of the lining that I just cut. The width for the lining is the same as the finished width of the Roman blind, so it's 36 inches. And the length will be 47 inches. That's the cut length minus the 2 inches for the 1-inch double hem. So that's 45 inches. And this is so because the lining will go up and over the board with the decorative fabric, but it will not fold in with the hem at the bottom. So let's go ahead and put it together so you can see exactly what I'm referring to. Because I have decided that I want my blind to have 4 sets of rings going vertically, I am going to start by putting the first set of rings 1.5 inches from this edge and the other set would also be 1.5 inches on this side. Now the next step is to take the measurement between where the two sets of rings are placed, and I have 33 inches. Now because I decided that I want to have 4 sets of rings, what I'll do then is take my 33 inches and divide that by 3, because I will have 1, 2, 3 spaces, and that gives me 11 inches. So my next set of rings will be 11 inches. And next set will be 11 inches. Therefore, from here to here will be 11 inches. Where you place your rings vertically will depend on how deep you want your pleats to be. Now, or your folds. Now, I want my folds to be 4 inches deep. Therefore, I will have to measure every 8 inches. However, the first thing I need to do is measure 4 inches from the bottom, just so I have a lip, so to speak, where the folds will rest against. So my first ring will be 4 inches from the bottom. Then my next ring is going to be 8 inches from the first ring and 1.5 inches from the edge. So that's it. Now measure 8 inches again and 1.5 inches from the edge. Now I find it easier to hand stitch my rings than to use the sewing machine, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. The trick to stitching your rings on is to make sure that you get a little of the fabric at the front in your stitch. That is how you're going to get your folds to happen nicely. If you are sewing with your needle and thread and you think your knot is small and may come through the hole, what you do is, when you put your needle and thread through the fabric, is basically put your needle through the thread before the knot, and so you create like a loop, and so when you pull your thread, your knot will not come through the top, because your knot will tend to come through if you are stitching with a big eye needle like I'm stitching with, and it's just so it's easy for me to string the needle. That's why I'm using this big eye needle. Before I string the blind, I'm going to go ahead and prepare the mounting board. And I like to cover my board or my wood. Okay. Okay. Now it's time to string the blind. So the blind will be operated from the right side facing out. So I'll start stringing from this side, go all the way up. String through the eyelets, go straight across. And I'll just leave enough cord over here so I'll have the extra cord that will be used to operate it. Now go ahead and cut this hair and tie it off. We are going to take it over and install it in the laundry room. So let's go. I am getting ready to screw the Roman blind to the wall, directly to the wall, and so I am just folding it back because it's easier for me to install it like that. And I have 2 screws here. That's all I need. 2 screws. I'm not using any brackets. 4 and 4. That's it. That's it. That's it. There we go. After I installed the blind to the wall, I did not realize my camera was off. And so what I did next was to get a stop lock, and I put the stop lock onto the cord. The stop lock is actually very useful in that it helps you, as the name suggests, to stop the blind wherever you want it to sit on the window. Now, traditionally, you would have a cleat at the bottom, and then you'd pull the cord and you'd tie the cleat, the cord around the cleat. But the stop lock is better. It's more versatile because it allows you to stop your blind wherever you want to stop it on the window. So if you want it further down, you can stop it further down. If you want it higher, you can stop it higher. I am just going to stop it just about where it brushes the frame. And my stop lock, I didn't buy in the store. I got it from a jacket. You know those things that you pull up and down on the string on your jacket to stop the string where you want it to stop? I have one of those on here. Works just as well. So whenever I have anything like jackets or bags and they are done, I try to salvage whatever I can from it because I know I can use them, right? Little notions such as a stop lock or a zipper. I reap those things before I throw out the articles that are done. And then on the end here, I just put 2 knots and I put a bead. Thank you guys so much for watching the video lesson. I truly hope that you learned something. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them below. Also, I appreciate your thumbs up and the shares because they all help the videos to get in front of more people. So please share and give me those thumbs up. Also, check out the membership that I'm offering on the channel now. There are 2 levels. You will see the perks that come with the different levels, and I would really appreciate if you consider joining up as a member. You have a wonderful weekend now. Sending you lots of love and appreciation. I will see you in the next video.